Hello, everybody. Today I'm here to review Supergirl. I just caught it in IMAX. For a bit of context, I'm a big DC fan. Superman last year was my favorite movie of the year. I've seen it like 10 times. It's a big comfort movie for me. So I was excited for this one. But I did go in with more reserved expectations, heard mixed things, and I'm excited to talk about things today. This will be a non-spoiler review. So if you've not yet seen Supergirl, no worries. I'm not going to be spoiling anything. But without further ado, let's get into things. I'm going to start off with some of my more mixed and negative aspects of Supergirl before I go into the positives. And I will say, like, I've read the comic this is based on, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It's a great comic. It's a grand and epic adventure. And this takes this grand and epic adventure, and it feels a little bit more like a couple stop side quest. Like, I don't know, it never really feels like it lives up to the scale, the scope, the emotion of that comic. The relationship between Kara and Ruthie has some nice moments, but just never kind of gets there fully, if you get what I mean. And what else? And it's just like, it doesn't feel as refreshing as Superman did. It doesn't feel like this big step forward. It just kind of feels like another superhero movie in a lot of ways. Like, and then I have some other minor notes, like Krem isn't that crazy good of a villain. He's just kind of there, and like the cool alien worlds are mostly just like single terrain, kind of generic places. So like, it's just, I don't know, it could be this grand intergalactic adventure, but it feels more like Guardians of the Galaxy light in a lot of ways, and that's frustrating. That's frustrating to me, and it feels like this movie could have been so amazing, and they just never fully went there. It feels very reserved and held back for something more simpler and more simple, and that is frustrating. Now, that being said, I do have positives. I mean, despite that criticisms and the frustration that it isn't a better movie, it's still a decent movie. It's still a fun time. Millie Alcock is very, very good as Kara Zor-El. She brings a lot of emotion to the role. She is kind of like a darker character, but like, you know, the whole thing is Superman is he is willing to save people unconditionally. But like, Superman had a happy life. He was raised by good parents. He's like doing good because he's just a good person. Kara has had an awful, horrific, messed up life, and she's had so many bad things happen to her. So this movie explores, yeah, she's had a worse life, but it's interesting to explore the fact that she is still pushing forward and still doing these good things, and she has a very great arc, great backstory. They explore her backstory through flashbacks and such, and that's all really, really, really good. It's great. It's emotional. It's good seeing more of DCU Krypton. It's cool. Anytime we see, and I'm just talking about trailer stuff here, anytime we see David Cornsweet in the movie, it's like a warm hug. It's like a breath of fresh air. He's still just as good in this role, and I love him so dearly. Yeah, he's really, really great. And the movie just, I feel like it gets more confident. It gets more assured in itself as it goes on, especially with the second half and the third act. It gets more action-packed. It gets more, lets itself get more into the emotional moments and the darker moments. And it really, the movie really finds its own more in the second half, I feel. Especially, like, the flashback to the Beth part, but I feel like it gets more confident as it goes on. And the action in the third act's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of other great stuff here. Jason Momoa as Lobo. He doesn't have any reason to be in this story, but he's still such a blast. Like, he's just chewing up his screen time, having a lot of fun. He's really, really great. He's a ton of fun. He's very enjoyable in this movie. Krem of the Yellow Hills, like I said, kind of a generic villain, but he does just enough things for, like, when it came to the third act, it's like, okay, I don't like this guy. This guy's annoying me. Kill this dude. Like, I wanted them to defeat the bad guy because I was like, I started to get pissed off by him. And even though he's not the most memorable or interesting villain, he had enough moments where I was like, ooh, I'm pissed off right now. What else? Production design, costumes, hair and makeup and stuff. They, despite the fact that alien worlds aren't as interesting as they could be, they're still, like, they still look cool. It's kind of like almost a grimy Mad Max aesthetic, like, but like sci-fi Mad Max on a lot of planets, which is very, very cool, very well done. And there's some fun little alien guys throughout, and I always appreciate that, you know? I always like some fun little goofy alien guys, so that's enjoyable. And yeah, they bring the alien worlds to life, even if they're not as interesting as they should be. And the cinematography, while the planets aren't as bright as colors as they should be, it's still a well-shot movie by Rob Hardy. Some good colors, some great lighting. It's never like a poorly lit movie. Visual effects are mostly pretty good. Some occasional shots, but mostly pretty good. But yeah, it's a solid, fun movie. It's not nearly as good as it could be. It feels like it just misses some highs. It's not nearly as refreshing. It doesn't feel like a step forward that Superman does. but still an entertaining enough film I had a decent time with, mostly because of how good characters like Kara and Lobo are. So Craig Gillespie, who directed it, not his best work, but it's not a bad movie. It's a fun movie. It's very comparable to me in quality to say something like Devil Wears Prada 2, where it's like, I'm not watching this like, whoa, this is amazing. It's like, I had a decent time watching that. I like the characters, you know? So I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. A solid superhero film, middle of the road DC. Nothing crazy good, nothing crazy bad, just a nice solid time. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for Supergirl. If you like Superman, check this one out, but it's not like a must watch by any means. But yeah, I hope you guys like the movie, and I hope you guys like the review. Coming up next week will be my review of X-Men 97 Season 2 premiere. Love that show. But yeah, hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.